I've terminated 141 officers under my command. I'm pissed off because justice, Dr. King said it best, an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And damn it if we're gonna play that game here in Broward County. 3 of our law enforcement deputies, while in the performance of their duties and compliance with our rules and regulations, have been charged with aggravated battery. It's appalling to witness this take place here in this community. I'm gonna remind you of what I've said for 6 consecutive years as your 2-time duly elected sheriff of this county. And that is, when I know, you will know. And that everyone in this organization will be held accountable. And everyone in this community will be held to the same standard. I have demonstrated that consistently for 6 years, to the extent of which I've terminated 141 officers under my command. There hasn't been a sheriff in this state or in this country that has demonstrated that level of aggressive nature of holding law enforcement and public safety professionals responsible. And of those 141 plus cases, 98 times, 98, we have submitted over to the state attorney recommending prosecution. And I'm gonna run down this one year after the next. This starts in my first year in 2019. 14 cases was recommended. Of those 14, 7 were declined by the state attorney's office. In 2020, 16 cases were submitted. 12 were declined by the state attorney's office. In 2021, 14 cases were submitted and 10 of them were declined by the state attorney's office. 2022, 17, 13 declined. 2023, 22 submitted, 15 declined. 2024, 13 submitted, 8 declined. And as of yet in 2025, we submitted 2 and already 50% of them are declined. So I will not accept the nature of these charges against these women. The video is crystal clear that they had demonstrated only the level of force necessary to get this individual back in compliance. Our standard is reasonable, necessary, in proportion to the threat of which we face. That is not just BSO standard, that is every walking, talking law enforcement official in the United States, from the federal down to the counties.
I'm not sure if you heard the story behind this, but it's not the story per se that we're really focusing on here. We're talking about what this sheriff did that I think is setting a precedent and that all departments need to follow. What do I mean by that? I have screamed it from the top of my lungs. Police are held accountable all year long, every year. The public never hears about it. Why? Because the media doesn't cover it. It's not sexy. No one cares about police holding police accountable because that's what you're supposed to do. But this sheriff did something unique and different that I have not seen in my 19 years of being a cop. He led this press conference off about accountability and transparency with his own department. All of the times that he himself has held his people accountable. When you start to put those numbers together, it sends a big message in a new way. After he shows his accountability to his own people, he does a 180 and tells you why he will go to the same ends of the earth to defend his people when justified. And I think that adds a huge level of credibility to what he's trying to convey. Chiefs, sheriffs, if you hear me now. This is how we do better. This is how we be the example. Own your screw-ups, yes, but defend your people when justified, and do it publicly, and do it just like this.